Let's start changing the color of this line work. The first thing I'm going to do is figure out what color I want the line work to be. You should have your swatches out. If they're not out, you go to Window and Swatches. And from there, you can choose what color you want your line work to be. The first step is you're going to select the line work layer. You're going to select all the pixels in the line work layer. When you press Command on a Mac or Control on a PC, press it down and then click on the layer thumbnail, that is going to select all the pixels on that layer. So what is the layer thumbnail? This is a layer thumbnail. This is not the layer thumbnail. This is the title of the layer. If I press Command, nothing's happening over here. If I go over here, my little hand guy like this guy has a marquee box next to it. And now if I click on it, this selects all the pixels on that layer. This is a really good thing to know because this allows you to change the color of any layer. Say I have a large area. This layer, it only has this weird shape on it, right? And I only want to change the color of that very quickly. So, Command, click, and you can see the only thing on this layer is that. If I have a little bit of that, it's going to select that too. Command, click, and now that's selected. And I want to fill. The shortcut keys for filling with the background color and the foreground color are on a Mac. Command, delete is to fill with the background, Control. And then the button right next to it on your PC or Mac to the left of Control and Command, it probably is Alt or maybe Option. Don't have a PC keyboard next to me. If you look on your Photoshop shortcut keys, it tells you exactly this, and this is going to be fill with the foreground color. So let's try that out. My foreground color is here. My background color is there. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the right layer, and I'm going to Option Delete. This is filling with the foreground color. Command Delete, filling with the background color. What's cool is I could actually make a new layer. Nothing's there. I've got my selection because I selected this from before, and I can pick a new color. This is my foreground color box, and so Option Delete, and now I have another layer with a different color. And what happens if I deselect? Command D, I get my eraser. I'm going to do some erasing, and what you're noticing now is that I have two layers, one on top of the other, and I can kind of use them together and blend and stuff like that. So let's try that actually on our line work now. Command, click to select all of your line work. And why don't we just do it in the same layer that it's on? I'm just going to replace black with a new color. I want brown, and Option Delete. Now let's deselect. Select, deselect, Command D. And now I have this cool brown layer. What if I want the hummingbirds to be in a brown line, but I want other parts to be in a different color line work? So I can make a new layer, and let's do the same thing. So Command click is going to select the pixels that are on the layer. I have this selected, and say I want a nice blue. Option Delete, and now I have a nice blue. So it fills everything, right? So at this point, you can delete what you don't want blue. So maybe there's certain things that I don't want blue, and at this point, we know how to fill. So let's put in a background color. I don't want it to be white, so let's make it this beige color. I know how to fill. If nothing's selected, it's going to fill everywhere on the layer, so just know that. Option delete. Now this background color is what happens if it's black, right? So you can really play around this. I'm working destructively, meaning I am actually erasing and deleting pixels now. I'm going to show you another video later, if you scroll down, how to delete the color that you don't want working non-destructively using layer masks instead of actually erasing what you want or don't want. And because this is on top, right, we see it. So you can work like this and get away with it. I suggest you have a master copy of your line work somewhere in here that is your original, just in case something happens or if you delete something. So let's make a copy of this one, Command J, and let's call this, I'll call this master copy. And I'm going to put this underneath and I'm going to hide it. So now my master copy's down there in case something happens and I erase something in here. Say for instance, I went to fill this and I filled it, but I had nothing selected, and now this is all just green. Whoops. So let's go back to here. Command click selects all the pixels on this layer, and then I can just make a new layer. And now that it's there, let's just fill it with black. Fill, option delete. Now I'm going to deselect, Command D, and voila. You can see this stuff here. So you can, I would suggest if you have like residue stuff happening, correct it sooner than later because you're going to be doing a lot of filling and over and over, then you're going to get a million layers that you don't like what they look like. So do a little color correcting of your line layer if you need to. If you drew digitally, you probably won't have this problem at all because you're just going to be filling. So that's how you use Command click to select your layer and a fill to fill it with a new color.